Here we have a quick tutorial for Bob on the Moon. So what is gravity? Gravity is a force between two objects, and this is the two objects in the question. This is the mass of Bob and the mass of the moon, and this is the distance to the center of the moon. Remember that this r, in this case it's the radius of the moon, and so this is a distance. It's diameter. It's not diameter in this case. It's distance to the center of mass, because these, in this equation, we usually see this as a d. I put it as an r in this case to show you that the distance is the radius. The distance between Bob and the center of the moon is the radius of the moon, since we're going to the center of mass. So that's one thing that needs to be clarified in this question, why this is an r instead of a d. So just be careful and realize what the r's and the d's mean. This is applying the distance from this mass to this mass in order to find the gravity between them. So what will Bob's mass on the moon be? This is kind of interesting because a lot of people get this wrong, but your mass never changes. So I don't care where you are, it's still going to be 50. So yeah, easy question. Sorry for making it an easy question for you. What will Bob's weight be on the moon? Now weight is always newtons. So where's he going to get his newtons? It's going to get his newtons from the force of gravity. And the force of gravity, of course, is solved by doing the long version of that equation right there. Everything's given that you need. G is 6.67 times 10 to the negative 11th. MB is the mass of Bob. Mass of Bob is right there. MM is the mass of the moon, which is right there. And R is the distance to the center of the moon, or the radius of the moon in this case. So you're going to find that FG. Now, pounds is something that we deal with all the time. And so if we say, oh, Bob has a weight of 70 newtons, you might think, is that a lot or is that a little? I don't know, because it's a newton. So what I'm trying to get you to do here is say, this is realistic. 50 kilograms. If this was pounds on Earth, this would be like, I don't know, 120 pounds on Earth. So this is not a heavy person. But how many pounds would they weigh on the moon? And so this is what it's getting you to kind of like confront is, and this is true numbers for the moon. This is how much a 120 pound person would weigh on the moon. And now this is just a guess on my part. I didn't actually do the computation, but it's somewhere in that area. And this will tell you how much that same person would weigh on the surface of the moon. Just times this answer by your conversion factor, and you'll see how many pounds they'll weigh.